16 games left. That's right. That's how long the Astros have left in the season. They are currently a game and a half above the Mariners, who are currently trailing the Cardinals right now. Do they have enough to hold off the Mariners? We'll talk about this and more on tonight's Locked On Astros podcast.
Jainer Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chansey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros. We hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on X at Eric Talks Astros. You can find the show at Locked On Astros. Your team every day. Between Brett and I, we have about 18 years of podcasting experience. So thank you for making us your first listen every day, whether it's on YouTube, Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Go and make us your first listen. Go ahead and subscribe to us. There's a little red button down there that says subscribe. Go and make us your first listen every day on your way to work. This episode is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for two to any golf tournament in the United States. Just visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025. So the Astros, it got a little close towards the end. It happened kind of like last night where the Astros had the lead and then the bullpen blew it. But thankfully, Jainer Diaz was the big hero of the game. But Jason Alexander, what more can you ask from this pitcher that came out of nowhere? A whole bunch of teams could have claimed him. A whole bunch of teams could have got him. But the Houston Astros got Jason Alexander. Could he be the number 3 pitcher in the playoffs? And of course, Jainer Diaz was a big hero, but Carlos Correa hit his 200th career home run. That was a big key to the Astros having the 2-0 lead early. And also, we'll have to talk about Luis Garcia. He's going on IL again. Unfortunately, we'll talk about why. And like I mentioned to start the show, the Astros stay ahead of the Mariners for at least one more day. Thank you for making the Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. So, Jason Alexander, how many of you knew of this guy before the season started? I know I didn't. You thought that he was a guy from Seinfeld. I know we all made the jokes when he came around, but I know how many of y'all thought that Joe Espada was so tempted to pull him after the 6th inning, even going into the 6th inning, because the third time around, hitters typically do very well against him. They're batting 300 against Jason Alexander the third time around. So this is something that Joe Espada was like, look, he has a low pitch count. He finished the game with 89 pitches, low pitch count. Am I going to trust this guy that has been limiting the Blue Jays hitters all game? Or am I going to bring in a fresh arm? Well, I don't know if you could say any reliever in the Astros bullpen is fresh, but are we going to bring in a new arm to go and face some of these guys? And I think that Joe Espada made the right move. He went with his guy. Jason Alexander has been the guy since coming to the Houston Astros. I believe he has a 2.89 ERA since coming to Houston Astros, something crazy like that. It is, I'll look for it in a second, but since coming to the Houston Astros, he's got a 2.59 ERA. That's even better than I thought. So he's just, this is a guy that when he came to the Astros, he had an 18 ERA. We're like, oh, great. What's this guy going to do for us? But he has become one of your most dependable pitchers. I know I saw a lot of people in X on YouTube. We do see some of your comments. We see some people saying, start Jason Alexander over Framber Valdez at this point. I still think that Joe Espada is going to go with Framber Valdez in game 2. But as you saw with Jeremy Pena over the weekend, Hunter Brown is the ace. He bleeds the ace blood, and he's going to go out there, and he should be recognized for what he's doing. And that's what Jeremy Pena was saying over the weekend. And I think people across baseball are starting to see what Hunter Brown can do. Framber Valdez, people, I think, know what he's capable of doing. It's just a matter of him duplicating it from night to night. But Jason Alexander, nobody thought he would be doing what he's doing. But he went against a team that started with the best record in the American League today and pitched 7 innings, only allowed 3 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Didn't allow any home runs, of course. And his ERA on the season is now 4.19. So you took it from 18 to 4.19. That shows what that 2.59 ERA with the Houston Astros in the extended starts. This was his longest start of his career with the Houston Astros. I believe he had a longer one with the A's earlier in his career. But what Jason Alexander is doing, I don't think anybody would expect it. And you could have made a case. Maybe keep him in for the 8th inning, especially with how the bullpen has been taxed recently. 89 pitches. It was like the 4, 5, 6 hitters, I believe if it was, something like that. Okert has not been on top of his game recently. So I wouldn't have judged Espada for leaving him in for one more inning. At least try to get him in there for one more batter or two, and then to have Okert ready. But I think the fact that you had Okert warming up in a couple other innings, I think you had to bring him in at that point because you probably spent him at that point. So I think that's why they decided to do that. But what's up, Astros fans? Are you excited about this? The Astros broke a 2-game losing streak. Yeah, the Mariners are on a 4-game winning streak, and some team called the Rangers. I think they're a minor league team. I'm just kidding, Joe. I see you in there. But the Rangers are on 4-game winning streak as well. But the Astros have competition. They started the day with 1-game lead over the Mariners. So every game is critical. And Jason Alexander, he went out there, he dealt, he got the job done. And I like the Astros rotation, but unfortunately, it took another hit. I know y'all heard yesterday Brett talk about Luis Garcia, but unfortunately, it got worse. He was put on the IL today. He was flown back to Houston to get some testing done on the elbow. It's being termed elbow discomfort, but we all saw what happened. It was basically after an 88-mile-per-hour fastball, he winced and immediately waved his glove at the dugout, basically saying, "Hey, I'm hurt. I need to get out of this game ASAP." And Espada went to the mound. It was not a discussion. I instantly knew that was bad news, and it just looked like his velocity wasn't really there, but the movement was there, and there were some things to get excited about with Luis Garcia. But this is what's happened to the Houston Astros all season. This is why Jason Alexander even entered in to this conversation. So this is why sometimes you have to rely on people outside of the circle. And the Astros have had to do that way too often. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But with Jason Alexander, it's worked. And this dude, he's in my circle of trust. I don't know if he's in your circle of trust, but this guy is. So, guys, next we'll talk about the Astros offense. What did Carlos Correa do? Yainer Diaz, is he back? Is he back to who he should be? And Yordan Alvarez, he's been hot since he's come back, but how hot? So we're going to talk about this on the Locked On Astros podcast. Hey guys, if you're tired like me, you've been working all week, 10 hours days, and you want to go maybe hit up golf course this weekend and you don't necessarily want to drink a bunch of alcohol on the golf course, well, why don't you try something that has grape, ginger, maybe lime flavored shots that bring back the iconic taste of golf course favorites. Maybe not even go to the golf course, whether it's on the golf course or just need a little extra push to power through your day. 5-hour energy transfusion delivers the clubhouse flavor you love without ever leaving the green. So whether it's going top golf and just hitting it over the screen or just getting it to the red circle that's a few feet away, whatever makes you happy, just do it with 5-hour energy. Golf is about good times with good people and good flavors. So now you can amp up with even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for 2 to any golf tournament in the United States. Tee up to that trip. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025. Speaking of ending, let's talk about FanDuel. What are the odds of the Astros making it to the playoffs? I know this is something that we don't want to talk about, but I'm sure if you go to FanDuel, all the odds are up. You could go to FanGraphs, so you can look at odds too. But what are the odds for the Astros going to the playoffs right now? What are the odds for them going to the World Series? You could do all this plus same day parlays for whatever sport you want with the Texans playing. If you want to go and make a wager during the game, whatever you want to do, FanDuel is here for you. With the NFL season, it's here from kickoff to first pitch, whatever you want it to be. So right now, new customers can bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use right across the apps. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet today. Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. Go and make this your first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts, go and check us out. So Brett will be back tomorrow. Hopefully we can talk about another Astros victory. The Blue Jays are a good team, but they are a pesky team. They're a team that when they're down, they don't want to stay down. It seems like you have a comfortable lead like the Astros did the night before. AJ Blueball came in after Luis Garcia left, and he was dealing. The Astros had a no-hitter going for a while there. I'm like, are we going to have another Roy Oswalt situation where you have a whole bunch of you have Roy Oswalt leave early, and then you have a whole bunch of relievers come in? But unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be yesterday. But the Astros, they gave up Brian Abreu. He struggled yesterday, but that's baseball. Sometimes your closer, who's not really supposed to be your closer, but because Josh Hader's on the IL, he is your closer. But for today's game, the Astros got some offense early, kind of like they did the day before. Yainer Diaz has been pretty hot recently, and he's got the scoring started with that RBI double. Then you had Carlos Correa, who's been on fire since coming back to the Houston Astros, and he had his 200th career home run. And it's awesome that he got to do it with the Houston Astros where he started. And it was a big home run at the time because it gave them the 2-0 lead. Yes, the Blue Jays eventually came back to tie it. Kirk gave up the 2 runs. It probably could have been no runs. It just had a lot of bad luck in that inning. The ball's just getting right past the infielders, and the ball, Cam Smith maybe could have dove for it, but he chose to Ty France. I told y'all he was going to get us in this series, but Ty France. So it's just a lot of little things that happened that inning. But the Astros didn't have that big implosion inning, and so that allowed the Astros offense to have that comeback. And Yainer Diaz, we've given him a lot of crap this year. Yeah, I know that he's not the best of defensive catchers, but he called a great game today for Jason Alexander. And he went out there and had a good at bats to hit that home run, clutch situation, and an enemy territory. And it was big. And you could tell that his excitement in his face and the excitement on the team, they knew that that was probably the game winner in the 8th inning. And Yainer Diaz, when he's on, but that was his 19th home run on the season. Carlos Correa, that was his 13th home run on the season. I believe he has 6 home runs with the Astros now. So he's almost equaled what he had with the Twins. I believe he had 8 with the Twins. So what's going on with the Astros is weird. Like sometimes they can score 11 runs, and the next day they only get 3 runs. This is one of those times where it dispels Brett's theory of they have to score 4 runs. Well, they don't always have to score 4 runs. They just have to score 3 runs and have good pitching like Jason Alexander did. And so it's just crazy. Somebody could look it up for me, but I guess I could look it up right here. But with the Astros, he has 2 teams. He had 7 home runs with the Twins, and this was his 6th home run with the Astros. So, yes, I thought he had 8 for some reason with the Twins. So, yeah, he's almost equaled how many home runs he's had with the Twins. So, just amazing how good he's been doing. So, 297. Wait, was that his 7th home run? Yeah. So, it's just amazing what Carlos Correa has been doing with the Astros. With the Astros this year, he's batting .297 with 809 OPS and 6 home run, 19 RBIs. With the Twins, he had 7 home runs, 31 RBIs, batted .267, had a 705 OPS. Sometimes a change of scenery will do you good. Sometimes coming back to a team where your hermano is, Jose Altuve, where you came up with, it will get your offense going where you feel comfortable. And I think that Carlos Correa felt comfortable with the Houston Astros. And I know, speaking of Jose Altuve, he's been struggling a lot offensively. And we know that he was, quote unquote, dropped to the cleanup spot on, Tuesday night. And then he was given the day off. This was a planned day off. It may not have been circled on the calendar, but Joe Espada felt that after Tuesday's game that this would be a day that Jose Altuve needed to just have a breather, to just go ahead and just think about things. He's been struggling a lot recently. So this was a chance for him to just sit back, relax, reset, and get back in there for tomorrow, Espada said. He's been playing a lot. And so if you think about what Altuve has been doing, entering in Wednesday, he's batting .163, .230, .288 in the last 26 games. He's been struggling. And the Astros are not going to do anything unless you have Jose Altuve hitting. And so Joe Espada, it doesn't matter how hot Jordan Alvarez is. We'll talk about how hot he is in a second. But it doesn't matter how hot he is if Altuve's not doing anything. Because Christian Walker, he's hit or miss. And Jeremy Pena has been pretty consistent for the most part of the year. Yainer Diaz has been hitting a lot more recently. But the Astros go as Jose Altuve goes. And when he's struggling, the Astros struggle. So this was just a day for him to get off his feet, just relax, think about things. He did get a bat later on in the game, and he did play some defense. So it wasn't a total day off. Let's just call it a Cal Ripken day off, where he sat most of the game and then he came back in to play the final inning. But it was a day to just have a breather. So maybe it'll get him going. Maybe the Astros offense will get going. 16 games. The Mariners, the Rangers are right there. You don't have a lot of time to go on 2-game losing streaks, 3-game losing streaks. If you do that, you're going to be out of the playoffs. So, guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. When we get back, we'll go ahead and talk about what's going on with the Mariners, what's going on with the Rangers, and what the Astros need to do over the next 16 games. Hey, guys, do you know somebody that wears a hat for different reasons? Maybe they need some, they're thinning a little bit. Maybe they don't have the hair like they used to. Well, maybe you need to try Nutrafol. It's you've probably seen all these different ads out there that say you can grow hair, whatever it is. There's so many different products out there, but Nutrafol is number one dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand. It's trusted over 1.5 million people. It's not just hype. This is a supplementary clinical tested that targets the roots causes of thinning and shedding with a proactive approach. So whether it's somebody you know or you, just go and check it out. They'll send you a pack, and if you want to keep it discreet, maybe people don't even have to know about it. So see thicker, stronger hair with less shedding in 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering Locked On MLB listeners $10 off your first month's subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code Locked On MLB. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code Locked On MLB. Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. Go and make us first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, go and check us out. So I just saw this. Chance just said, why didn't Jason Alexander get the W? Well, because unfortunately the Astros bullpen blew up the lead after Jason Alexander left. So the pitcher that gets the win is typically the pitcher of record or the loss. So Alexander left when the Astros had the 2-0 lead, but then they tied the game. So he's no longer the pitcher of record. And so that's a explanation about why he did not get the win. Should he get the win? Sure. But that's just not how baseball works. That it's just one of those quirks. Like the Astros still won the game. He was the best pitcher in the game, and they wouldn't have won this game unless he went out there and pitched 7 strong innings. It was the 8th inning that killed the Astros. Well, I guess I only gave up the 2 runs, but you know what I mean. But it's just one of those rules. And if you go ahead and try to change that rule, there's just going to be so much red tape and so many, well, what if this, what if that, and so many different interpretations. And so I don't think that rule is going to change. But I know during spring training, that rule is kind of a little bit looser because pitchers don't go 5 innings. So they typically assign it to somebody that pitches good or just somebody that they figure it's just a little bit looser there. But the Astros currently have the 1.5 game lead over the Mariners. The Mariners right now, they just tied it. I guess they just tied it. They were losing 1-0, but the Mariners are playing the Cardinals. The Cardinals are 72-74 on the season. So you're hoping that they'll be playing a team that's good. I know the Cardinals are only 2 games below 500, but we need somebody that's going to go out there and kick their butts and just go out and sweep them and just take care of business or do whatever it takes. But the Mariners are on a 4-game winning streak, and the Cardinals are just not that good a team. And if they get the victory tonight, great. But at least the Astros are not going to lose any ground. They've been losing a lot of ground recently. And I believe they had a 3.5 game lead or 4.5 game lead about a week and a half ago or so over the Mariners. Now it's down. It was down to a game before today's. So the Astros, they can't afford to continue to lose games. Even the Rangers are on a 4-game winning streak. They're 77-70. So they are currently they actually won today's game. So I think that includes that game right there. So the Rangers are 7-3 in their last 10 games. The Mariners are 5-5. So even if the Mariners go on a big losing streak or something, the Rangers are right there. They're a game behind the Mariners. So the Astros have a slim lead. That's all you can say. They have a slim lead. And every loss, it gets them closer and closer to the rest of the pack. And you didn't build yourself enough cushion in case of a fall. And the Astros have been falling a lot recently. You can't blame it all on the pitching, all in the offense. It's just been a lot of issues. And it's not all about the injuries, because a lot of the injured players are back. So it's just a situation where the Astros just not playing good baseball, all around good baseball right now. You could say that the first game against the Blue Jays was good for 7 innings, and then things fell apart. This bullpen is not going to scare anybody, especially when you have JP France, Lance McCullers in there, and then you have Brian Abreu and a bunch of dudes. That's no offense to the guys in the bullpen, but you just don't have the depth that you would like. Hopefully Josh Hader is able to come back, but there's no signs that says you can expect to have Josh Hader in the playoffs. So the Astros have got to figure out somebody's got to stand up in this bullpen. I don't know who it is. I know in today's game, recently De Los Santos has looked pretty good. AJ Blueball, I think that he's possibly going to get the next look in the rotation. I know Luis Garcia, his spot in the turn I believe is going to come up against the Braves. So I guess you could go ahead and give it to Lance McCullers, but he's not stretched out. JP France, you could, but he's not fully stretched out either. So AJ Blueball, he threw 45 pitches yesterday. The only reason why he didn't go deeper into the game is because he pitched 3 days before that. So he was on a bullpen schedule. So if you go ahead and give him the extended time to get back into starter mode, he could go back into the rotation. But I wouldn't expect to see Luis Garcia for the rest of the season. Spencer Arrighetti, I wouldn't expect to see him. What's up with all these pitchers with the elbow? Is it the pitch clock? Is it just the spin rates? What's going on? Why is it's not just the Houston Astros, but it just seems like John Rooney comes up, makes his MLB debut. He might have pitched twice. Then he has elbow issues. Caleb Bort is having elbow issues. So it's just frustrating how I know it's not woe is us and other teams are dealing with it too, but it's just frustrating how you just think that right before the playoffs, you finally get the team healthy. And then boom, you get slapped in the face with reality of what 2025 has been. And it's about, we are built for this. We're built for adjusting, dealing with injuries, and finding the next man up. And that's basically what the Houston Astros have been forced to do all year long. And so the Astros have got to, if they're not able to go far in the playoffs this year, they're going to have to make some adjustments in their plans for next year. The bullpen is good with Josh Hader, Brian Brady, but you need some more pieces. And the rotation, I don't want to keep on saying this, but you can't count on players coming back after not pitching for a year and a half and count on them. Like Christian Javier, Like he's the last man standing. Well, I guess I'm not going to count Spencer or Getty in that group, but so JP France hasn't really pitched much with the Astros, but you can't count on these guys. That's why I wish that Dana Brown would have done something at the trade deadline to get another starter, maybe another bullpen arm, but it's too late. The Astros are where they are. So now it's time to buckle up, enjoy the last 16 games, because it's going to be stressful. It's going to be fun. It's going to be nerve-wracking. It's going to make you cry. It's going to make you cheer. And it's going to make you want to call for Joe Espada's job. But guess what? That's what makes you an Astros fan, because you're passionate about your sport. So, guys, that's all we got for this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. Hopefully tomorrow, Brett and I will be talking about the Astros victory, and hopefully we'll be talking about the Astros losing tonight, losing tomorrow, losing next game, and the Rangers going on this big losing streak, because you need a little bit of help from your friends sometimes. Guys, we'll see you tomorrow, and go Astros.